to Stupid Ideas from Mad Creative, episode 12, or season 2, episode 2, depending on how you want to look at it. I am Slim, joined by Sid. Hello, Sid.
How we going, guys?
And, well, you can probably see what's behind me. Um,
Looks like an egg, Slim.
oh, it's a big old egg, because we're looking at the Gobbledy Gooker, which you're going to love. So, let's see if you know a few wrestlers. Do you know The Undertaker?
I do.
Do you know the Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man?
Yeah, that was what I was getting at. He's not a wrestler. Do you know Eddie Guerrero?
No.
Mean Gene Oakland.
Cannot say.
Yeah, he's an interviewer. What about Chavo Guerrero?
Relation?
Gory Guerrero?
There we go. There's always another one.
Hector Guerrero?
God damn it. Nah. Nah, dude.
All right,
Who the
well,
hell is
you got to learn about.
Guerreros?
Yeah, you got to learn about some Guerreros. Let's get into it. So, Hector Guerrero is the man who portrayed the Gobbledy Gooker.
Good old Hector, eh?
He's the son of Gory Guerrero. He's the brother of Eddie Guerrero, Chavo Guerrero Sr. and Mundo Guerrero. And at Survivor Series 1990, that's the show that The Undertaker debuted at. But he wasn't the only debut. We got the Gobbledy Gooker. The Gobbledy Gooker is, he's meant to be a big old turkey, because this is taking place around about Thanksgiving.
Sure. Yeah.
So
Of course.
he's a big old
Big
old turkey. So, as you can see, I'm now sitting in front of the Gobbledy Gooker, who is hatching out of the egg. So, yeah, the egg's been on stage for the past few shows. Well, not the past few shows, the past few months of shows. And once it hatched, the Gooker dances with Mean Gene to massive boos from the crowd. After a few weeks, the Gooker was dropped from the TV, wasn't seen again until WrestleMania X7 2001, when it came back in the gimmick Battle Royal with Hector portraying the Gooker again and being eliminated second. There you go.
That's it.
That's it.
That's the whole timeline.
That's the Gooker. That's the Gobbledy Gooker.
Not months of build-up for the crowd to see this motherfucker come out of the egg and be like, nah, and it just be gone immediately.
Yep. Yes. Remember, this is the early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't quite gotten to the worst of the worst yet.
And even back then, they were like, nah, this is not it. This is trash.
Yep. So, the Gobbledy Gooker, right? Missed opportunity. Massive missed opportunity. For a few reasons. It took a very respected superstar, made him a joke. It ruined a surprise. Yeah. Ruined a surprise, because what's coming out of that egg. And since it was scrapped after a few weeks, it was also a waste of time.
Yeah.
So it's ruined a career, ruined a surprise, and wasted everybody's time. Good on you, WWE.
Just massive disappointment from crowds. Like, I'd be interested to see. I don't know, like you said, it had a countdown clock on it, so people knew that when, like how long it was going to take. Because I mean, my initial thought was like, oh, if there's this big egg sitting, people are going to come every week or every time to be like, oh, maybe this time it'll hatch. But you've put a countdown clock on it, so they know when it's going to happen.
Yeah, I think it had a clock on it. I seem to remember the big clock.
Okay. Because if that's the case, then there's even if that's not the case, even if there wasn't a clock and more people were coming every week because maybe this is the day the egg will hatch, there's no way that that makes up for the amount of people that are just like, nah, fuck this shit when they see that come out of that egg. The amount of people that are just like, you know what? I'm not coming back. This is it. I'm done.
Yeah, and remember, this is the same night that the Undertaker debuted.
How is the focus on that? Did we get a good focus on that? Was that a good reveal? Did he debut well?
Yeah, yeah, everybody. Well,
Yeah,
it made a lot of people scared with the Undertaker debut.
good.
Yeah, yeah, it was good. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure that this, I think Undertaker debuted earlier in the night to this. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
So, like,
yeah.
Undertaker showed up, and now we get the Gooker reveal. It's like, they had that backwards.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like if you debuted Undertaker afterwards, people might have forgotten about this. This would have been that weird shit that happened at the start of the show that I totally forgot even happened because this crazy, scary, awesome new character was revealed. But Undertaker was revealed. Oh yeah, that's right. I was distracted by the giant
Gooker.
turd that came out of that egg.
Yeah. So yeah,
That's
that's great. And obviously, yeah, it got dropped after a few weeks. So yeah.
yeah,
Um,
and in those few weeks, he wrestled like that. He fought
was it?
people.
Don't even think he wrestled. I think I seem to remember when I was doing research. I didn't write it down. That he might have just shown up on a few episodes, like just shown up.
Just
Done.
sort of danced around
Yeah,
in the
danced around.
background,
Yeah, basically.
caused distractions,
Yeah. Well, not even that, but yeah. So
gimmick.
I suppose you're going to want me to rebook this.
I don't. Yeah, sure. Please entertain me.
All right. Well, I'm just going to read this.
As you wrote.
Yeah, yeah. So to rebook the Gooker, I would honestly just scrap it.
Thank you. Yep. I was waiting for it and I am not disappointed. Yeah.
But if
Yeah.
I have to actually book it, so it happens,
Oh,
we got to change a lot of stuff. Um,
yeah.
Depending on where we start, depends on how much we have to change. But if we start before we have the egg, then I would just not have the egg and have something different. We will keep the egg because it's something.
Otherwise, you're not
Yeah,
really rebooking it. You're just like replacing it with something.
yeah. We're going to keep the egg,
You've got
right?
to like, yeah, unfortunately. But yeah,
Yeah, we've got to keep some stuff so it, is the
yeah.
Gooker. So at the start of Survivor Series 1990, the egg hatches and nothing's revealed immediately. It just hatches
Okay.
and there's nothing that comes out of it, seemingly.
Interesting.
Commentary's confused, everyone's confused. And so I'd have the show go on as normal, except for in certain parts, the lights flicker, cut out, that sort of thing.
Mhm.
Continues after The Undertaker debuts, so everybody seems to think it's just The Undertaker. But at the end of the show, the lights will go out while Hogan, Warrior, and Tito Santana are in the ring. They just shut off and turn back on again, I mean. And you can just see a silhouette of a person coming down to the ring as they flash.
There you go.
So it's like somebody's walking down to the ring, but only in the darkness.
Yeah.
So, this continues until we see Warrior and Tito get taken out, and when the lights come back on, it's Hector Guerrero standing there. We've kept Hector.
Hmm.
And it's Hogan and Hector. Hector hits his finisher on Hogan, gets the mic, says that he hatched from the egg, and that nobody knows where it came from except me. The lights flick off, he disappears when they come back. And over the next few months, have him squash a few big names until the Royal Rumble when Tito Santana challenges him because he was one of the ones who got attacked at Survivor Series. Hector wins in a squash match. Mean Gene gets in the ring, asks Hector where he and the egg come from. to which Hector responds with hell. Before the lights flick, he disappears. This keeps happening.
All right.
Yep. This keeps happening until Mania, when Tito challenges him again and says that his faith will carry him to victory. So now it's a very heaven and hell
Religious
sort of
thing.
thing. Yeah. I would do Warrior here, but this is Mania 7, and this is where Warrior retires Savage. So we don't really want to take that moment away. So, yeah. Also, adds Hogan versus Slaughter, which, once again, we will get to in a different episode. But also, Hogan should be the last of the three to be fighting him, so yeah. After a competitive match at Mania, Hector wins and then asks Tito where his faith got him before the lights flick and they both disappear. Ideally, you have another pay-per-view or a major show or whatever in between Mania and SummerSlam. They don't have one in real life, but if I'm booking it, I'd book another. Between Survivor Series 91 and Rumble 92, they do this Tuesday in Texas, so maybe just run that between Mania and SummerSlam 91 instead. And you can do Warrior versus Hector there. It's another competitive match because it's the Warrior, and he will not do a squash match where he loses. So, yeah. But, once again, Hector wins. They both disappear after the lights flash. And at SummerSlam, we do Hogan versus Hector, and during the match, both Tito and Warrior show up and swarm Hogan, which gives Hogan the win. And Hector's first loss, but it was by DQ, so, you know. On the way to Survivor Series, he says that he took Tito and Warrior to hell. Now they're owing their souls, and now they're a faction.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. At Survivor Series 91, I'd have Hector's team win with a clean sweep over Hogan and his team of whoever you want. But it's a clean sweep. Hogan's the last person standing. So it's a 3-on-1 against Hogan. Which, you know, it means that Hogan can lose without looking weak. Because it's Hogan and he won't just lose.
Yeah, no.
And yes, I know that it's Survivor Series 91. That's where Undertaker beats Hogan for the WWF title. But we're not doing that. Yeah, so Hogan doesn't have to lose the title to take it. You can do that later, whatever.
Yeah.
And after Survivor Series, I'd have Hector say that he wants Hogan's belt, but Hogan says that ain't gonna work for me, brother, because he also said that you haven't earned it. Hector says that if he wins the Royal Rumble, he'll take the belt from Hogan at Mania. So Hogan accepts a challenge from Hector, and he goes on to win the 92 Royal Rumble. I know that that's the one where Flair wins from number 2, but we're not doing that either. Because Hector wins from number 1, so I think that's more, well, not entertaining, but it's, you know, it's a big deal. Gets to WrestleMania and he loses to Hogan due to Hogan being able to get Tito and Warrior back. They turn on Hector, leading to a program where Warrior and Tito basically calls Hector to go back to hell. Maybe it's Survivor Series 92, meaning that 2 years after he debuted, he disappears. You then repackage him to come back as something else that's not invincible.
Put him back in the egg or something.
Well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. But you can sort of have them do a thing where, like, if you can't beat us 2-on-1 or something, you know. And eventually, that allows him to go away, because now he doesn't have to win all the time. Because that was the issue. It's like The Fiend, where you sort of have to have him win all the damn time.
Yeah. But it becomes sort of OP and a little bit boring after a bit.
Yeah. So the good thing about this is that you don't have pay-per-views every bloody week. So, you know, you've only got 4 or 5 pay-per-views. So you've only got to book him a couple of times. So he's not going to get repetitive. He's not going to get overexposed or anything. And because the storyline has specific points in it where, you know, debut, he attacks 3 people, he fights one of them, fights them again, fights the next one, and then you do the whole Hogan stuff.
Mm.
And Hogan didn't actually lose it all either.
No.
So
Yeah.
he lost Survivor Series, but it was 3-on-1. So you could argue
DQ.
that's 3-on-1. Then he ends up winning it at Mania. So Hogan never actually lost. You can do Taker and Hogan now if you want.
Mm.
And yeah, it's got proper points in the story where it makes sense for it to happen.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I don't know if you have anything you need to add to that.
Initially, I was like, "Man's came out of an egg. Why he from hell? That doesn't make any sense at all." And then I was like, you know what? Nah, look, if we've got to keep the egg, we could make it not, look like a chicken egg, make it look like some sort of demonic egg. Just to fit that a little bit. And then as soon as I sort of got that in my head, I was like, you know what? This is cool as I'm loving the whole heaven and hell thing. It and it sort of it almost sets like a really dark theme for that night, with Taker's reveal and then this new side to Hector that it kind of yeah. No, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, the whole thing is that when I'm thinking about it from a fan's perspective, you've walked into the building one day and there's a friggin' egg there. Where
Yeah.
the hell did that egg come from?
Mm.
Nobody knows where that egg comes from. There's just an egg there randomly.
So like it wasn't terrible in the sense of, having this suspense build. Like that was the probably the one part of this that was okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so like with Undertaker debuting as well, you could also even turn him into a tag team with Hector. Because
Mhm.
technically you could say that they're both from hell.
Yeah.
But, if you wanted to keep the story going where Tito and Warrior take him to hell or send him back to hell, he'd run a tag team match with Undertaker. That could always happen. But yeah, it's done in a way, I feel, by rebooking that this
Mm.
egg has shown up, nobody knows where it come from. Doesn't matter if it's a chicken egg or whatever, right? Because I don't believe anybody said anything about it showing up when it first showed up. They just went, there's an egg.
Mhm.
So you do that again, and I think the intrigue comes from, on the build up to it hatching is obviously what's
Yeah.
coming out of that damn egg.
It's
And
just like,
then,
what's this random fucking thing that's just turned up?
yeah. And then when nothing comes out of it,
Mm.
what the hell?
Yeah.
Yes, you can argue if he's from hell, why the hell didn't he just show up? Why did he have
Yeah.
wait an egg?
Why
Which,
the egg?
yeah, yes, okay,
It's hard to work around that one. Yeah.
yeah, but you've got to keep it. Why the egg?
Mm.
Because it's a reveal.
Mm.
It's a reveal for
It was
nothing,
something.
but yeah,
It was a fun thing to sort of build suspense.
yeah, and
It was, you know.
also with Undertaker debuting, like the egg hatching early in the night, and Undertaker
Yeah.
debuting with all the spooky shit that's been happening, it all gets put on
I mean,
Undertaker, and then
sort
it's
of, yeah.
almost immediately revealed it's not the Undertaker.
Mm.
Like it's sort
He's
of
just as confused and
it's a
yeah.
red herring,
Mm.
which is always great to have when you got a surprise.
Yeah.
It's like here's the answer to your question, but it's
But
not.
it's not. Yeah.
Like
Surprise.
yeah, you surprise them
Uh,
twice. It's almost like
yeah.
the Undertaker when he does show up. He's what came out of the egg, but it's not. And yeah. So anyway, by doing this, I've made Hector a star in WWE, not just on wherever the hell he was. I'm not sure
Yeah.
if they were wrestling down in Mexico or if they were in Texas, something like that. Because the
Either
Guerreros,
way.
are obviously
You haven't put him
Mexican.
in whatever that fucking costume is.
Yeah, that helps. But like, I know they're Mexican family, obviously, with the name
Yeah,
Guerrero, but I'm pretty sure they're based out of Texas. I'm
yeah,
not 100% sure, but you know, because he was a big star there because his family is it's the Guerreros.
yeah.
Anyway, so we've made him a big star in the WWE, not made him a joke, which is what that bloody turkey was.
It's
Um,
shocking.
we've made the
100%.
surprise an actual surprise, and
Yeah,
we've got a
really exciting
2 year we've got a 2 year run that could last longer if you need it to.
if you wanted it to.
Hopefully that draws more money and more fans, and it
Mm.
wasn't a damn turkey that lasted 2 weeks.
And
So
you could also have it run shorter if it wasn't doing so well. Like Hector could have been defeated at any one of those points.
yep, if you needed to stop it,
Yeah.
it's easy to blow
The
off.
uh, the three team up against him,
Yep,
done.
you could blow it off at any point.
Mm.
You could do the whole part where Hogan gets the other two back on his side at the
Mm.
Survivor Series show where they teamed up to beat
Rotating.
Hogan 3-on-1.
Yeah,
Like at that point, all of a sudden, they're back on his side, and that's that. It lasted a year.
exactly.
And yeah, it's not that. I think that's the key thing. It's not that.
Yeah, it's really, yeah.
Like, I mean, you could almost polish a dog shit better than that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Triple H could
Yep.
wrestle a broom, and it would be better than that. Um, that is a reference to something Triple H has said, and everybody wanted to see it, but we didn't. But yeah,
It's just awful.
yeah, that's that. Obviously, it fits right in on this show because it was not only a stupid idea, but also that is bad creative.
Mm,
Like,
terrible.
yeah, a turkey hatched out of
Terrible.
an egg. What were they looking to get out of it? Think about that. What were they looking to get out of
Like,
it?
okay, speed rebooking real quick. If you wanted to do a turkey gimmick, have the egg show up, hatch in the same show, the turkey do something stupid, and that's it. It would be a laughable thing. It would be a comedy moment. It would be done. That's it.
Yeah.
Like it, it's the combination of like the build up and then trying to go somewhere with it.
Yeah.
Like,
It's the build up for that.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
and that's the other thing is that it's such a letdown.
yeah.
It's
Like it's like it's like someone telling you a dad joke, but you have to wait like a month before they tell you the punchline.
yeah.
And then when you get the punchline, it's like, uh, yep.
Tell you what, it's like watching season 8 of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
It's just all this build up for nothing or for shit.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
It's. I mean, it's. I guess it's disappointing. That's the best way to describe it.
That's just
Other than shit, of course. But like,
yeah.
it just. Who knows what they were trying to get out of the Gooker? Because
Really.
it couldn't have been
Like
anything, like a big star or anything. Maybe you could argue it was for the kids.
sure.
Maybe a merchandise thing for the kids.
Comedy thing.
Comedy thing.
Uh trying to. I don't.
Yes,
I don't think
it's got to tie in with Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, but I'm like, why does WWE need to pander to holiday
They
seasons?
do it all the time. They literally do
Okay.
Halloween stuff. There's always a Halloween thing,
Oh,
always a Thanksgiving
fair.
thing, always a Christmas thing. I'm pretty sure they do Easter
Okay.
things. Valentine's Day, they tend to do something. Like, they do it all the damn
Okay.
time.
Okay. I can deal with that, but again, do it on Thanksgiving. Do it on Thanksgiving without the build up,
Yes, I think
without the egg.
if you were to do
Mm,
rebook this just quickly, you would just
mm.
have it be a one night thing, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
Because at
Yeah.
least then, it's like, oh, there's an egg, and just throughout the night it starts hatching, and
Yeah.
then bang, out comes the Gooker, does his thing, goodbye, you know,
Runs across the ring, gets decked,
yeah,
and that's it.
yeah, you know, and and have them having a Thanksgiving feast or something, and they all swarm it, who knows, whatever, but
Have him run across the ring, get decked, and then someone like drags him off stage, and then like at the end of the night, just have this like giant roast turkey in the middle of
yeah,
like a dining table.
yeah, you know,
Yeah.
it's
It's like,
it's
oh yeah, we cooked him.
Yeah, it's a bit
Yeah.
of fun. Everybody laughed at it. Even if they did wait until Survivor Series to do it, because let's say it was the next show after Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
whatever.
Because again, having such a lighthearted theme on the same night you reveal Taker.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, but you can make it make sense
Yeah.
if you
Make it make sense, bro.
run it just for one night. It's like, yes, we're doing a Thanksgiving thing over here. Also, here's the Undertaker, but
Mm.
it,
Yeah.
don't make it a big focal point either, because they
No.
literally stopped the show so it could hatch.
This is like a small aside. Yeah.
Yeah, like they literally spent time watching it hatch. It hatched. It then did its little dance with Mean Gene, and then it pissed off. Like,
And the crowd booed
yeah,
because they were like, rah,
yeah,
no.
we're not doing this. Also,
Yeah.
it's on a pay per view, so they've paid premium money to watch the Gooker,
Yeah.
which,
Yeah.
yeah. So, yes, no, it's stupid idea, bad creative.
Not great. It's not
Yeah,
great.
tell you what though, it's not, well, it is, but it isn't as bad as the next episode, because it didn't end a company.
All right.
Next week we're
That's
talking about how WCW's business management led to its death.
Oh no.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. We're talking about
Mm.
we're going WCW here. Yeah, we're talking about how it ran itself into the ground. Which,
Let's look forward to that.
yeah, so that'll be fun. No, I hope it's WCW in the late '90s, early 2000s. Obviously, they left 2001, so we're going to cross into 2000s, but we're bound to do that.
We can do
We're starting in the '90s. It still counts.
that. Yeah, exactly.
It happens a couple of times in this season. We're going to cross into the 2000s, but that's what happens. But yes, that is it for this episode of Stupid Ideas. Like, share, subscribe, channel, hit the notification bell. Follow Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. Links are in the description. Let me know what you thought of the episode and how you would rebook the Gooker, and also what you thought of my rebooking, where is not that. All in the comment section down below. And yeah, other than that, Sid, you can say goodbye.
Catch you later, guys.
And good night.